fighter, you ready?
Combate global.
Oh, what a punch. What an incredible fight. Can you believe what you just saw? We have a champion.
Welcome back to Combate Global. That's right, that's not CGI. Don't get jealous. That's the current skyline of Miami. It's always tough, Rodolfo, leaving our pool to come to work, right?
Seriously.
That's the hardest part of it, right? Don't be jealous.
But we live in it all the time.
We live in it all the time, right? Don't get jealous. Anyway, Jimmy Smith alongside Rodolfo Roman. The ladies kicking it off for us tonight, and both of these fighters looking for their first win. How much does that weigh on you as a pro trying to get that monkey off your back?
Especially for Jharely. Jharely Reyes came in. There was a lot of hype. Defeated a boy in the amateur levels. This is her time. Nadine Abbott, she's hungry for it.
Omar Amador, get it started for us in La Jaula.
Entrando a la jaula, Nadine Abbott.
There's Nadine Abbott. Her last fight was in May. She fought for an amateur title. Joining her brother, that was her inspiration in MMA, convinced her to join purple belt in jiu-jitsu. But still, she's confident in her grappling, but right now 0-1 in her professional career. Is it about getting it in her comfort zone, getting it on the ground early?
That's what it's about, especially if she learns to see what Reyes has done in La Jaula already. For her, this young lady, she has the experience as an amateur. Of course, once you climb up to the pros, it's a whole different ball game. You got all the settings and the lights and so forth. But look, this young lady is a strong fighter. She was part of Ireland's fittest family, so she's an athlete. A lot of grit, a lot of will, but has that experience as far as the ground game. I think if she were to take it down, she might surprise Reyes. I think she should try to stick to that.
Well, it's about maybe representing Ireland on the ground. We'll see if that works. Omar, let's keep it going.
Y ahora su oponente, Jharely Reyes.
Jharely Reyes, you see her making her way to La Jaula. She has a black belt in karate, and it's about challenging herself that she made the jump to MMA, right? You want to know how good you are? Can you really strike? Well, this is the place to find out. She graduated recently, and one thing, you know, Rodolfo, it's, do I make this my life? And early success kind of dictates that.
Third time is a charm, right? That's what they say. Well, this is her opportunity. It's her third time inside La Jaula. First time was against Melissa Gomez and Natalie Scheislinger. And I go back to where Gomez, all right? She took on a fighter who had standout boxing, and she outboxed Reyes. At the time, we thought that Reyes had that striking enough or go to the ground, but Gomez was able to find a way to stop her in the takedown. So how much is involved? I spoke to her, she told me, I've been fixing the flaws. We hear this all the time, all the time. But are we gonna see it? And you can do it in the gym all you want. But it's when it comes, when the lights are on, the jaula's open, if you could really put it to work what you did, then you could put your money where your mouth is.
Now, if we look at the head-to-head, very young, both of them at 22. The height advantage for Nadine Abbott, also the reach advantage as well. Omar Amador is gonna get it started for us.
Ya estamos listos para este duelo de damas. We are ready for this ladies bout. Es un compromiso pactado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en un peso pactado de 105 libras. This bout is set at 3 rounds of 5 minutes at a catch weight of 105 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are Dorian Mirasola, Lorenzo Toledo, Richard Green Jr. Y ahora sí, damas y caballeros, the time is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, now introducing in the blue corner. Ella sube a la jaula con récord de 0 victorias y 1 derrota. She steps into the cage with a record of no victories and 1 loss. Vistiendo todo de blanco, wearing all white. registró un peso oficial de 104.2 libras. She weighed in at 104.2 pounds. Es de Dublin, Ireland, Nadine Abbott. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now her opponent in the red corner. Viene con un récord de 0 victorias, 2 derrotas. Comes with a record of 0 victories, 2 losses. Wearing all red, vistiendo todo de rojo. Registró un peso oficial de 106 libras. She weighed in at 106 pounds. Es de Tijuana, México, Jharely Reyes. El referee para este encuentro, the referee for this bout, Christopher Minioki.
Please, quiero una pelea limpia. Please obey my commands at all times and protect yourself at all times. Cuídate y escúchame todo el tiempo. If you want to touch gloves, go ahead. Good luck to the both of you. Buena suerte.
First fight of the night here on Combate Global. Nadine Abbott from Ireland. You see her in the white, also the Irish flag on her right side against Jharely Reyes. And we are underway. Jharely Reyes in the red.
I think a difficult challenge for Reyes right now, Jimmy, is that mental game. It's the 3rd time inside La Jaula. She has yet to get a victory. And like you mentioned, what do I need to do to get that win? I put in all the hard work. Now I have to show it. I need to push the pace. I know what I've been down the defeat loss. I want to get to the winning column. She had a successful career as an amateur, but everything changes when you go pro.
Different game, and also she has to overcome the height advantage of Nadine Abbott. This is a good way to do it.
Right.
Get on top, negate that height and reach advantage.
And she likes it here. She submitted a boy, Jimmy, in the amateur levels.
That's what happens in the amateurs.
That's what does happen in the amateurs, but it takes a lot of gut to accept that, hey, there's no opponent, give me a guy, I'll take anyone. And she took it, submitted the guy. It was in the first round, very quickly. You could blink, you would have missed it.
Nadine Abbott using those long legs. She is a jiu-jitsu purple belt. Right now the guard very, very low on the hips of Reyes. That usually means up, walking them up now. Looking for the right arm of Jharely Reyes.
For Nadine, she has that height, she has those long legs.
Walking him up again. Aggressive with the guard.
She may be grabbing onto something there.
Yeah, but so far straight on with her hips, not angling, not isolating one particular arm in kind of a double armbar position. Now angling, trying to isolate the arm of Reyes. She might have it.
Here. I should just flip over.
Good hips from Abbott, biting down with her leg. Can Reyes get out?
There we go.
Trying to posture up. Got to get that shoulder out, then the elbow pops out. Will she get it out in time? Abbott right now going for this armbar with everything she's got.
Toes out of the cage.
Difficult position here.
It's awkward,
up against
up against the fence. Not easy. But normally Reyes would walk over the body to relieve the pressure.
Right.
Can't because the fence is in the way. Right now Reyes staying composed.
Toes out of the cage.
And you hear Abbott's corner say, hey, put your belly down there.
Yeah, but Abbott right now has to make that decision about where do I transition to if this goes south. The one who recognizes it first usually does better.
Reyes seems to be trying to pull him up that.
Got it!
Top. Oh!
You heard her say tap. As Abbott put the hips in. First win of her pro career for Nadine Abbott.
Wow.
Beautiful armbar. We talked about getting the monkey off her back. Well, she did it. Now 1-1 as a professional. And it must feel so sweet for Nadine Abbott. Submission in round number 1. We'll be back with more.
A 2 minutos 28 segundos del primer asalto, el referee Christopher Minioki detiene el combate por un tap out, una rendición. At 2 minutes and 28 seconds of the round 1, Christopher Minioki stops the fight by tap out. Para la ganadora por sumisión, by the winner, by submission, Nadine Abbott.
savor it tonight, Nadine Abbott. You'll win other fights. You only get one first win.
Oh, it's a beautiful, how sweet it is to get that first pro debut victory, Jimmy. Oh, she's smiling back home. She's going to go back home with a big smile.
Yeah, she'll be enjoying Miami tonight. Congratulations to Nadine Abbott. First round submission.
Combate Loba.
Martin. The ability to throw with that left hand. Martin Davila has the ability to break you on the ground. It's about who has the will tonight to impose their game on their opponent.
Looking forward to this one. Davila, a lot of pressure coming in, going against Ibarra.
But when we come back, it is Erick Montaño versus Castillo, two very experienced fighters looking for success in La Jaula. They'll leave it all on the line when we come back. Don't miss it. It is the Battle of Mexico. That's right, Mexico City versus Ensenada. 31 combined wins between these two fighters.
You know, when you look at Castillo, he has more fights than his age.
We all know experience, and that includes Omar Amador inside La Jaula.
Entrando a la jaula, Erick Montaño.
There is Erick Montaño from DF, Mexico City. That's right. Comes marching toward La Jaula. He says, you know what? Fighting's about being disciplined. It's about being consistent. It's about being humble. He also says he's an artist. I wonder if blood might be his medium tonight on the canvas of La Jaula.
I've heard many fighters say that the canvas is their canvas where they paint. But Montaño, and we touched this earlier on, last time he took on Jimmy Sample, he dominated the entire fight. And he had the opportunity to finish it, right? He was the much bigger of the guy. Jimmy Sample took the fight, took it some time to catch up to him. This man has vicious kicks, strong hands. Just look at the guy, he's chiseled, strong dude. So can he do that? He has way more than the potential that he's very experienced, going up against some top guys, and he can do it here against Castillo.
Yeah, letting the fighter off the hook stays with you. Will he do that tonight? Omar, keep us going.
Y ahora su oponente, Castillo.
Castillo making his way to La Jaula, a record of 22-16.
The way he's going, he's going to catch at the Dan Severn.
Dan Severn, of course. Maybe Willie Pett and Sugar Ray Robinson back in the day. Those fighters with 200 pro fights. Jeremy Horn, for the people who remember. They made it a job. And there's a fine line, isn't there, Rodolfo, between loving this and being excited about it and being doing it so much and being so professional that it's just another day at the office. You always want that juice. You want that excitement. I think Castillo still has that.
He sure does. That's why he continues to do it. But when you look at the two with Montaño and Castillo, Montaño has one up Castillo. I'll tell you why. It's because he lost to Jimmy Sample. All right? So he already goes up, and you can compare and contrast, right? I mean, maybe he was a different fighter that day. You could go on and on and on. But Castillo, for this fight, has had the good amount of time to train. He looks in great shape. He looks like he's been putting in the work. And that's something that's the reason why he has so many fights, because he takes them so quickly. So this one, he took his time to perfect his skill. So I think we're going to find a different fighter coming inside La Jaula, a man who's determined to get that victory.
And look at the head-to-head. Erick Montaño, 5 years older, has a slight height advantage, but the reach advantage going to Castillo. Let's go inside La Jaula to get it started.
Damas y caballeros, ya estamos listos para este combate pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división de peso ligero. We are ready for this bout set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the lightweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green Jr., Ricardo Celis, Dorian Mirasola. Y ahora sí, estamos listos. The time is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing in the blue corner. Entra a la jaula con récord de 9 victorias, 7 derrotas. He stepped into la jaula with 9 victories and 7 losses. Vistiendo de blanco, wearing white. Weighed in at 155.6 pounds. Registró un peso de 155.6 libras. De Ciudad de México, Erick Montaño. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now his opponent in the red corner. Entra a la jaula con un récord de 22 victorias, 16 derrotas. He stepped into the cage with an outstanding record of 22 victories and 16 losses. Vistiendo de verde, wearing green. Registró un peso oficial de 157.6 libras. He weighed in at 157.6 pounds. Ensenada, Baja California, México, Iván Choco Castillo. El referee para este combate, Christopher Minioki.
Quiero una pelea limpia. Cuídate todo el tiempo y escúchame todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar. Buena suerte a los dos.
It is Erick Montaño taking on Ivan Castillo. Erick Montaño in the white trunks, the Mexican waistband, and on the other side, green trunks, also Mexican waistband. It's the Battle of Mexico, and we are underway.
Montaño training with the Bone Breakers and Castillo with the Blacksicans, 2 well-known camps out of Mexico. You see, expect a lot of striking in this fight, Jimmy.
Yeah, no surprise there. Montaño starting out with the leg kicks. You know, you talked about his shape, his strength, his ability to put power behind strikes. We've seen that already.
Montaño's a big dude. We talk about the weight, right? I mean,
He somehow makes it.
Yeah, I don't know how he makes it, but he makes it. He's a big dude. He carries on a lot of pain with weight when he's not training.
That's right, 6 feet tall, trying to use that jab effectively. Ivan Castillo trying to cut off La Jaula, making the taller man work with his back to the fence.
What I like about Castillo, though, the more agile of the two, moving more fast forward, pushing that pace, taking the risk. Montaño is more like he's just waiting to attack. He's a counter guy. Stop feeling it out, Jimmy.
He's got to find his way in. Castillo on that light jab, really winging that right hand, but not really, bringing his hips with him.
Not that power from the back leg. Yo.
Marching forward with machine gun punches. I think that might have been just to drive Montaño to the fence, because immediate double leg from there.
And Castillo does have some pretty good wrestling, so that could benefit him in this fight.
Yeah,
but to take a big dude down like that.
Yeah, that would certainly help. Wizard position right now from Montaño. That right arm over the top. Excellent pressure, takedown, step over, and all the way almost to mount.
Oh, watch out for that guillotine there, Jimmy. Oh,
going for it now, but smart enough to let it go. Didn't want to get thrown over the top.
Good way of Castillo to keep those legs up there.
Castillo right now trying to operate from butterfly guard. Body lock positions. Position you want to sweep your opponent. Look at that elevation, trying to get it done. Erick Montaño not really unloading with the ground and pound. Very cautious from on top. I think he feels a little uncomfortable in this butterfly position.
I think Castillo's doing enough as far as to stopping it from doing this, especially the way that the butterfly goes, as you mentioned, Jimmy.
One thing about butterfly guard, you got to pick a side. You can't just, elevate your opponent up. It doesn't go anywhere.
No, because he'll go right back to you.
Exactly. Erick Montaño able to get this fight back to his
called gravity. Underhooking Montaño.
We talk about the height of Erick Montaño. Well, Ivan Castillo staying chest to chest, trying to negate that height advantage.
Just the hair.
Yep, staying very, very close. Montaño, big for the weight class. Don't want him to have space. Now, who do you think is favored when it comes to this slower pace? Ivan Castillo seems to have slowed the fight down with this over-under position, go for the takedown.
Yeah.
Who do you think that favors?
That favors Montaño, and we saw it from that fight that he had with Jimmy Sandlin. Jimmy Sandlin is that offensive fighter. Very
Great
consistent,
outside trip.
very offensive, but Castillo, he's just like him. Just a little bit more technical, very precise with the shots. But Montaño is the type of guy that just sits back and is ready to attack when he needs to. It's going to benefit him.
Once again, Castillo doing a good job of using his elevators, right? Using his hooks to keep Montaño off balance. This butterfly, half butterfly position.
Good way of escaping their transition, but giving away his back. Dangerous stuff. Ooh.
Rolling out just in time is Ivan Castillo to end up on top and loses it again.
They were fighting there to see who was going to get what.
Right now, nobody able to stabilize.
Right back in the with those long legs of Montaño, good chances here for knees.
I mean, not really going for any kind of tie plum, not going behind the head.
No sneaking in an elbow or two.
10 seconds left in a very close first round. Neither man really having their way in round number 1.
Vamos bien, carnal, vamos bien. Nada más, no quiero que te me quedes plantado cerca de aquí. Quiero que saques el 45. Y si ya viene, cabecea y mételo, pero no te quedes aquí plantado. Y ve para adelante. Ya viste que tú luchas mucho mejor que adelante, cabrón. Bien, bien, vamos bien, vamos bien. ¿Más agua?
Welcome back inside La Jaula. Erick Montaño, you see him right there in the white trunks from Mexico City. His opponent, Ivan Castillo, in the green trunks from Ensenada, Mexico.
Like a car crash has to start off the second round, Jimmy.
I think they both decided this grappling thing just isn't working out for us. Oh, just as I say that, Ivan Castillo going for the takedown again.
Ooh, that's a
excellent
big D that he
takedown.
took down, Jimmy.
With the long legs, it's gonna be hard to get your guard back, but the thing we're seeing, maybe I'm being a snob here, but it's one of those things where when you take somebody down, the ability to stabilize is so important, right? Stick them, keep them there, put pressure on them. Neither guy's been really able to do that. They get the takedown sometimes, that stabilization isn't there.
That's why, I don't want to sound mean here, but, when you get that fresh fan that has never seen MMA as we go into the open scoring.
No surprise there, Erick Montaño, 10-9, all 3 judges' scorecards.
Right. So what I was saying is, Jim, when you get that fan that hasn't seen MMA and when you see a fighter just scoop up and something, yeah, it's great, it's cool, but what are you going to do with it?
Looks super cool.
Right, but this ain't sports entertainment, man.
Right, exactly. Got to keep the weight on your opponent, set up for the ground and pound, and neither guy really able to stabilize with these good positions. When you fight old school guys in jiu-jitsu, they go, hey, look, once they get something, they don't give it up.
Right.
Once they're around your guard,
They stick
forget
to
it.
you.
Yeah. Bring a lunch, because you ain't going anywhere.
There are those chances, right, where you do get a knockout of a slam, but that's just 1 in a million.
Extremely rare and takes a lot of energy, but right now, Montaño going in that mermaid position, both knees together, now trying to transition to the back. Nice roll through again from Castillo. Into the double leg, guillotine over the top, but without the hips. That's all show, no submission.
Now, I question, as far as Castillo, and I'm impressed with the cardio, he's still going to keep pushing Montaño with the takedowns. That takes a lot of energy, Jimmy.
It takes a ton. Pulling forward like that, it's high-level wrestling. They tend to be efficient, right? They go in, if it doesn't work, they back out again. Right. And in MMA, that constant grind of going and going and going, so difficult. Clean takedown isn't there. Just like that. Double leg, but couldn't hold your opponent there and easily reverses you. Also, not easy to score these kind of rounds. I think the first round I go with Montaño, I think it's pretty clear. This one has been pretty back and forth.
Tossing it up. Big toss-up between the two. Castillo, relentless. He does not want to let go of that leg. Now back to the clinch.
Now, he felt something in round number 1 that made him say, I don't want to stand with this guy. It seems almost like desperation staying chest to chest.
But I don't see a lot of action in the clinch.
No.
I don't see any elbows.
Outside
I don't see any
trip,
knees.
elevated again. Easy for Ivan Castillo to keep that weight off of him.
Oh, boy, when he was getting up, that opportunity for the knee was there.
But this is just an exhausting style from both of these fighters.
Very.
Greco-Roman is the absolute worst in terms of cardio. Man, shoulders start burning, arms start burning.
Legs.
And a lot of this has been those kind of upper body takedowns. Not a lot of, slick double legs, things like that. They've been a lot of this, what we call Greco position above the waist.
Yeah, because one thing is when you grab the leg, the single leg, it just comes with the action, right? The movement. But right, when you go those suplexes, when you go those hard breaks, that takes a lot of energy out of you.
They've been content to go back and forth in the grappling. Are you a little surprised Montaño hasn't done more to kind of break off and get distance? He's been kind of content to play this game.
I go back to that fight that I previously saw. He's too patient. He has a chance here from Montaño. If he has to stand up, why not use jab to keep Castillo away? Move around a bit.
Yeah, it's been content
He's
to have
very slow-paced.
Yeah, and he's had his butt and his back against the fence for a lot of this fight.
And if you're a striker and you get in the clinch, you know how frustrating that is because you want your opponent to strike with you. So at least do your best to keep him at bay. And here's a chance. Right there, you're in the center of La Jaula.
Yep, Ivan Castillo in the green. Erick Montaño in the white.
But see, he backs up.
Left-right combination. Montaño starting to throw a bit. Ivan Castillo trying to get it back. 30 seconds left in a round that is more than likely up for grabs at this point. Who finishes strong? And it's Castillo getting the body lock again.
Could be a sign, too, of a little tiredness there, Jimmy.
Man, fatigue makes cowards of men, and we all know that. 10 seconds left. Oh, we know Montaño took round number 1. Did he do enough to take round number 2? We'll find out soon.
Okay.
Tienes que meter los uppers es la clave, güey. Y golpes largos, Choco, por favor. Largos los golpes, Simón. Vamos, complicado. Yep. Ya lo que pasa ahorita con el 6 otra vez. Ok. Largo los golpes, Choco. No te le embarres, golpes largos. Largos los golpes, no te embarres, te boxea nada más. Puro box, los ojos.
Confianza.
Inteligente, circula un chingo.
Welcome back to Combate Global. Erick Montaño in the white trunks versus Ivan Castillo in the green trunks. Both trunks say Mexico because that's where both of them are from. This has been, however, a grappling match for the most part. Chest to chest, over-under positions against the fence. Not a striking battle, although Erick Montaño has had the slight advantage when that's been the case.
Well, if that second round at the end determines anything, this third round hopefully keeps to be that striking that we prefer, but we've been seeing it.
And it's been the ability of Ivan Castillo to get inside and clinch. And Erick Montaño on the outside. Oh, big head kick from Castillo. Couldn't see how clean it landed from that angle.
Oh, nice.
But to your point, we're starting to see the striking we thought we might see in rounds 1 and 2.
I think they woke up, Jimmy.
Oh, good right hand.
Wait, and I wouldn't doubt if that open scoring had something to do with this, Jimmy.
Ivan Castillo knowing he's behind. You have not yet seen the results for round number 2 and giving up his back. Montaño riding him. Forward roll. A little bit of a modified Grammy from Ivan Castillo.
Now the tables have turned here, Jimmy, with Montaño having the upper edge.
That's right, putting his shoulder in, putting weight on Ivan Castillo. And previously in this fight, in the first couple rounds, every time Montaño would get the takedown, Ivan Castillo would elevate, keep him away, and it is, right now, Erick Montaño has this, 2 judges to 1. Of course, judge number 2 voted a tie so far, but that's not enough. Not enough at all. Right now, Ivan Castillo needs this 3rd round to win, or he's gonna win. He's gonna lose a split decision. Winning this round is not good enough. Ivan Castillo needs the finish, and for the folks at home, the corners know before we do, so they know in between rounds or close to it what the score is. So to your point, that could be why Ivan Castillo started out so aggressively in this 3rd round.
And notice how Montaño just flipped it here, and he's the one that's now going for takedowns and controlling the fight. And sure, it might not be as exciting, but hey, it's enough to sway the judges.
Good job. Control. Montaño once again muscling Ivan Castillo to the ground, but not able to keep him there again. That's been a theme so far tonight in this fight.
A lot of twists and turns.
Take him down, you got to keep him down. That's something neither fighter has really been able to do. No real submission attempts, no serious ground and pound. Some exchanges on the outside, round number 1 and round number 3, but what you're seeing right here, folks, is the way this fight has gone most of the time so far.
I will give him credit. A lot of good scrambling down when it gets to the ground game. He was a black belt.
Yeah, outside trip.
And there it is again. A lot of scrambling, great transitioning.
Rodolfo, but when you want to take somebody down, you want to be on top, there's no such thing as a good scramble. No. Right? You want to squash him. You want to be the one putting pressure on, right?
So it tests your jiu-jitsu. If he's able to scramble out and transition,
you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Exactly. Well, when you have an old coach, man, they're like, we don't scramble. I crush you. It's like a steamroller going over here.
But what I'm seeing is, and again, we started in the clinch, not much action, and the opportunity is there.
Now, if you're Ivan Castillo, and you know that just winning this round isn't good enough, you need to finish. Rodolfo, you break off here and look for the knockout, yes?
Yes. And if any testament is to the end of that last 2nd round, try to keep it striking. But Montaño, I'm telling you, it had to do a lot with that open scoring. He read, hey, wrestle him, wrestle him, wrestle him. Get the points.
Montaño now.
Oh, maybe setting up here for a triangle.
Man, has to free that right leg. It's trapped underneath the body of Montaño. In triangle position, but you're not going to be able to lock it up from here. Now pressure from Montaño, open guard from Castillo. Relieving the pressure, but 30 seconds left, and Castillo needs something big. Great thing about open scoring is fighters know what they need to do. Ivan Castillo needs a finish, and he needs one in the next 15 seconds. Erick Montaño doing everything to make sure that doesn't happen. Here's the clapper signifying 10 seconds, and Montaño, barring a miracle, will hold on to get the split decision win.
Lots of clinch, lots of takedowns, but not much action in the clinch and in the takedown.
We saw the weaknesses tactically of both fighters, right? We saw the skill set. I mean, it was the weakness of when to grapple, how to use the positions. Wasn't all there for both guys, which is interesting because they're both very experienced in MMA.
Maybe as a form of respect, maybe they knew what they had, but definitely was needed.
More than likely, it's a win for Erick Montaño, but our own Omar Amador will make it official in La Jaula right after this break. And those are our fighters. We will make it official. Did Erick Montaño do enough to overcome Ivan Castillo? Omar Amador will make this one official.
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of mucha más acción, we go to the scorecards. Vamos a las tarjetas. Judge Richard Green Jr. sees the fight. 29-28. A favor de Erick Montaño. Judge Ricardo Celis sees the fight. 29-28. El juez Ricardo Celis ve la pelea 29-28 a favor de Iván Castillo. And Judge Dorian Mirasola sees the fight 29-28. Y el juez Dorian Mirasola ve la pelea 29-28 in favor of the winner by split decision, a favor del ganador por decisión dividida, Erick Perry Montaño.
Grappling was enough to get it done. A close fight, but 2 judges, of course, seeing it for Erick Montaño. Got enough takedowns and enough on the feet. Rodolfo Roman stepping right now into La Jaula to speak to our winner. He is exhausted, he is tired, so he will have his say, and here's how it happened. On the outside, we saw it in rounds 1 and 3, some kickboxing. It was almost all grappling throughout against the fence, chest to chest. Erick Montaño dealing with a very aggressive Iván Castillo. Trying to keep this fight close, but able to get on top enough, just enough ground and pound to sway the judges in rounds 1 and 2. He wins a hard-fought split decision victory. Rodolfo Roman. Speak to him in a moment, but you see the punches. Iván Castillo landed more punches, more kicks, but look at the takedowns. 5 for Erick Montaño, 3 for Iván Castillo. That was the story of the fight.
All right, we're here now with Nadine Abbott. Congratulations on your first victory in La Jaula as a pro. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels amazing, yeah. Delighted to get the win.
Now, Reyes came in, you know, she had a lot of hype coming in her debut in Combate Global. Did you expect what you expected, or did you have to change the game plan here? It was a quick victory for you.
Yeah, I knew she'd be fast. She's smaller than me. I knew she'd be fast coming at me. When we clinched up together, I was going to take her down, and then I felt she'd get the 2 unders. And then I knew, I was like, if she takes me down, I knew I'll have a really good armbar off my back. So I said, I'm going to go for that straight away. And I went for it.
Now, you know, one thing that's important is you flew overseas, you came here to the States, and you have to adjust to the timing. How much of a role did that play? And how did you manage to work it in so you could feel right when it comes to fight time?
Yeah, I only flew over on Wednesday night. So, yeah, it was a bit difficult to adjust straight away with a 5-hour difference back home. Yeah, it's late at night back home, but no, we adjusted grand. And, yeah, delighted to get the W here in La Jaula.
Now, you had a lot of success as an amateur, won some medals, won some competitions, some titles. How sweet it is to get this victory as a pro now. You put that out the side now, and what is next for you?
Yeah, I'm delighted I am. I was a world champion at amateur and lost my professional debut, so delighted here to get my first win.
Now, here in Combate Global, we have a lot of ladies lined up. Anyone in particular you'd like to compete, or just bring them? I'm ready for anyone.
Bring them all. Bring them down. I'll knock them down, yeah. No worries.
Nadine, thanks so much. Congratulations. Jimmy, back to you.
Thanks, Rodolfo. That famous Irish attitude on display. Line them up. I'm going to knock them down. The ladies always deliver in Combate Global. And we have 2 more delivering tonight. We have Silvia Juaneda versus Quinn Williams. Now, Quinn Williams making her professional debut. There's always pressure there, but she was raised in this sport. Her uncle is Drakkar Klose, of course, a UFC veteran, a current fighter on their roster. Also came up in Michigan, and her whole family full of wrestlers. Michigan, a very strong wrestling state. So she grew up with MMA, with combat all around her. Great amateur, 4-0 as an amateur, King of the Cage champion. But Silvia Juaneda, her opponent, of course, fighting out of Spain, but she's trained in Holland. I have trained in Holland. Their kickboxing is absolutely phenomenal. It is world class. She's going to need all of those striking skills tonight to defeat Quinn Williams. Let's learn more about both of these ladies.
My name is Quinn Williams. I'm 23 years old, and I was born in South Haven, Michigan, but I'm fighting out of Tucson, Arizona.
Me llamo Silvia Juaneda, soy de Menorca y tengo 36 años.
I know that she's tough. She's a tough girl. She's going to come forward hard, so I got to keep her at bay.
Y tiene un buen boxeo. Veo que es guerrera la chiquilla y también la admiro porque no es fácil aceptar una lucha tan pocos días y estar preparada siempre para decir sí, voy. Y debutar ya en una promoción tan grande. O sea que la admiro, la respeto y esperemos que demos una buena lucha.
My relationship with my corner is, well, my uncle Jakar Close, UFC fighter. You know, he's like a big brother to me.
Nunca en mi vida había estado tan feliz como en mis últimos 4 años. Este deporte a mí me ha hecho crecer muchísimo como persona, como todo. Yo creo que he encontrado la felicidad también de mi vida enfocada a este deporte.
In an ideal world, this fight ends with my hand being raised and me moving forward.
Para mí es un honor representar a mi país. Yo me siento española, yo amo a mi país.
Saturday night, when you walk in that cage with me, you're going to feel something you've never felt before.
Quinn, esto va a ser una gran batalla. No te voy a poner las cosas fáciles, así que espero que hayas entrenado duro porque voy a por ti.
And welcome back to Combate Global. Jimmy Smith alongside Rodolfo Roman. You just finished talking to Nadine Abbott in La Jaula. She was a decorated amateur, but it took a minute to get that pro victory, right? She had to go through some changes. Quinn Williams, similar thing, 4-0, amateur champion, king of the cage. What adjustments do you want to see her make tonight in order to get the victory?
Well, the fact is, she comes in with that lineage of family fighting. She started off wrestling very early on in her age. So as far as adjustment, it's really hard to tell. I mean, footage is scarce on this young lady. We don't know too much about her. We do know that she had a very successful career as an amateur, but as we know, that's now in the past. That's here in the rear view. So what you need to expect is just bring it on. You know, bring it on. This is your opportunity. I think the biggest challenge for her right now, Jimmy, is setting those butterflies out. You know, right now is her against herself. That's the biggest opponent. And if she's able to set that aside and just stick to the game plan, she has her uncle who has been there in the big stage. He's been in the big platforms. That word of advice, having in the corner, is going to help her out in this fight against her opponent.
Now, Silvia Juaneda, her opponent from Spain, you see her throwing punches right there. Of course, kickboxing kind of her go-to, but her one loss by submission. She got owned on the ground in that fight. Has she made the proper adjustments, take on an opponent who you know is going to try to out-wrestle her?
That's what it's the key, and we hope that, see, she was expected to fight Lucero La Loba Acosta. Lucero, the last time we saw her compete inside La Jaula, her boxing was just on point. So that's what she was preparing for. Now she has 9 days to flip the script for an opponent that she really doesn't know much. So yes, stick to your bread and butter, but expect the unexpected in this fight. You might have to switch the script within the fight and change the strategy.
It's about who makes the proper adjustments early on in your career. That is not an easy thing to do. That is veteran stuff in La Jaula. But the ladies, once again, take center stage here. When we come back, don't go anywhere. Welcome back inside Univision Studios. Jimmy Smith alongside Rodolfo Roman. We know the ladies are up next, but our main event of the evening is Martina Davila versus Ernesto Ibarra to say that this is the bull versus the matador, right? The aggressive grappler versus the picky striker. Not many more contradictions or contrasts you could think of in a main event, except between these two guys.
That's the story you say. You paint the picture right quite well. That's exactly what we're going to get. I'm just, again, and I know we touched this many times, but you know, the fact that he lost his father, Martin Davila, coming in, there a lot of pressure. And what role is that going to play in the fight? And is Ibarra going to capitalize on that? You know, and I mean, I know it's a savage way to think about it, but a fight's a fight. You know, anything goes. Respect is there, but you got to get a victory. And Ibarra knows how to pick and choose his shots, Jimmy. He's a very precise striker.
Yeah, we might be friends after the fight, but that's after the fight. Right now, I'm out to win, and that's a script for both of these fighters. Let's take a look at them.
Combate Loba.
You know, the ability of both of these fighters absolutely off the chart. You talk about the mental side, you talk about the emotional side. The tactical side is big. That's one thing here in Combate Global. We see guys who are so well coached that the tactics mean almost everything. Is that the case tonight?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The tactics is what it's all about tonight, and we're going to see it here in La Jaula in just a short time. Looking forward to it.
And one of those things with the Mexican-style fighter, it's a term that, you know, I used on this show tonight, but it's maybe overused or inappropriately used in this case. Ibarra very judicious with his punches. When I think Mexican-style boxing, it's volume. It's take three to give one. Ibarra doesn't fight like that. So we have a main event that relies on one or two little punches. But what's not going to rely on one or two little punches? I think this fight, that's right. You see Silvia Juaneda taking on Quinn Williams. Juaneda's going to be very, very active, very, very busy with her strikes to keep the wrestling-centric Quinn Williams, the grappler, at bay. Now, can Quinn Williams master her emotions? We'll find out right after this. Welcome back to Combate Global, already in La Jaula. You see Silvia Juaneda on your left with the yellow top, Quinn Williams on the right in the red, her Uncle Drakkar clothes in her corner. She is ready to go. She says she was raised in this, but it's Silvia Juaneda from Spain who has the experience edge. Omar, get us going.
And you know what's important, Jimmy, and I'll look back at my first fight. I think the first thing that I remember is between rounds, no matter how close I am to my coach, I did not pay attention. Right? The nerves were still kicking, the butterflies were still there.
What we always say is if you tell your student more than three things, he's not going to remember it, right? It's the ability to take in information and use it quickly. That's the difficult part with your debut. We might see that tonight with Quinn Williams, Silvia Juaneda. We look at the head-to-head, much older, 13 years older than her opponent, Quinn Williams. Slight reach advantage, the height advantage as well. Physically, it's Quinn Williams that's going to have to get inside the striker in this fight. Can she do it? We'll find out. Omar, get us going.
Ya estamos listos para continuar con mucha más acción. We are ready to continue with much more action en este compromiso de damas pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división peso mosca. In this bout set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Lorenzo Toledo, Richard Green Jr. y Ricardo Celis. Damas y caballeros, el momento ha llegado para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing out of the blue corner. Sube con un récord de 2 victorias y 1 derrota. She steps in with a record of 2 victories, 1 loss. Vistiendo de amarillo, wearing yellow. Registró un peso oficial de 125.4 libras. She weighed in at 125.4 pounds. Es de Menorca, España, Silvia Juaneda. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now her opponent in the red corner. Haciendo su debut profesional. Making her pro debut. Vistiendo todo de rojo. She's wearing all red. Registró un peso oficial de 124.2 libras. She registered a weight of 124.2 pounds. Es de Tucson, Arizona, Quinn Williams. El referee para este combate, Juan Tommy Santana.
Fair fight. Protect yourself at all times. Stop. Questions? Touch gloves if you wish. Back up. Come around, ready to fight.
There is Quinn Williams making her professional debut. Her opponent, Silvia Juaneda. Has she improved her ground game? I think we're about to find out. Round one is underway.
Jimmy, I don't know, but Williams seemed to me like she's been here before. When they announced her name, it's like, I've been here, man. This is my show.
Crawling forward like Tom Jones.
Like, man. I think a credit goes to her uncle being on Howla side. And they're giving her that confidence and that boost. And listen, she called it in the interview. She said, I'm going to choke her out. That's the game plan. And there, look, we may have it.
Starts with a double leg and then happened immediately off the right hand. Quinn Williams, decorated amateur 4-0 in the amateur ranks, King of the Cage amateur champion. This is the pros. And Juaneda, her last fight, first loss of her career, she was submitted, really owned on the ground, taken out, back taken, choked out. How hard has she been working on her ground game, going a little bit of rubber guard there.
Now for Juaneda, this is the first time she fights out of Spain. This is the first time she's over here in the United States competing. And, we can mix and match, but Williams has been here. She's faced some tough opponents in the amateur levels. And it's the level there in Spain, in MMA. Even if you were to compare it to some amateurs MMA in the United States.
Easily.
It's, the debate is right. We have top talent here, amateur. Spain is catching up little by little. They're getting there, and we've seen it here in San Paolo, but
there are certain hot spots in MMA. United States, Brazil, Russia's a great one, okay? And you have to cut your teeth in one of those. Japan used to be,
right. Back in the day.
Back in the day, it was amazing to have a great record in Japan. But you have to at least cut your teeth in one of those areas to really understand the levels in MMA.
So fine, look how she has the arm in the back.
She has it trapped.
Yeah.
Gary Goodrich in Pride is great at that, trapping the arm. Bounce your head right off the canvas. It's an old school move.
Williams trying to get them out, trying to get that right leg over. Juaneda go doing what she needs to do with that butterfly guard there.
Good job keeping that arm trapped. It is going absolutely nowhere.
No.
That's not easy to get and even harder to keep. Good pressure so far. We thought the nerves were going to get to Quinn Williams.
No.
Haven't seen it yet.
No, it's like she's been here before. Juaneda had that figure four in that one leg, and now she let that go.
Yeah, back to full guard for Silvia Juaneda. Can the fighter from Spain, trained kickboxing in Holland, can she get it done? And I don't think it's going to happen from here. Her submission game may have improved, but catching somebody from the guard is extremely difficult in MMA.
And she was preparing for La Loba. 9 days in, she got Quinn Williams, different opponent.
Completely different style. I mean, from boxing to wrestling, look at the pressure. Yeah.
Very, very different. And how quick are you to adjust? How quick are you to prepare? 9 days, sometimes it's just not enough, Jimmy.
Rolling into knee bar position. Trying to maybe extend that leg, but Quinn doing the right thing, keeping weight on that left leg. Got a plant, put all your weight on it right now, Juaneda, trying to straighten it out. Might get a sweep out of here. Now in heel hook position, inverted, which is the worst. Oh, looking to crank on it. Quinn Williams, though, looks calm. Good job kicking that hand off the foot. So far, Quinn not trying to what we call play footsie, right? She's not trying to counter footlock. She's trying to escape. That awkward, almost 50-50 position.
Good way of positioning that foot under her chin.
Going inverted again. Inverted heel hook. Can't see exactly what the position is. They're up against the fence.
Quinn just pushing herself out there.
Good job rolling out. Juaneda back to her feet briefly before Quinn Williams takes her right back down.
That's when that wrestling comes into play. Started wrestling back when she was 10, Jimmy.
Michigan, great wrestling state. I mean, a lot of clubs out there.
Yeah.
Yep. University of Michigan, outstanding program. Had the Hodge Award winner this year.
Oh, I said
heavyweight.
5 years old.
Now Quinn Williams thinking arm triangle. Has to get her hips through to really make it work. Juaneda trying to fight. Yeah, trying to get to the side. 15 seconds left. It is very, very tight. Can the fighter from Spain hang on? Just heard the clapper, 10 seconds left.
She may make it, Jimmy.
And she does. That is the end of round number 1, but man, look at the face of Silvia Juaneda. She knows she dodged a bullet there. But talk about that mental side. Thought I was taking on a rookie here, and Quinn Williams is not fighting like a rookie.
I think it goes back to the discussion we're having. It's the level of competition where she's fighting.
Yeah.
Quinn, and you're seeing it right here, it's like she's been here before in the pro levels. Scooping her up, that wrestling just come into play. Elbow to the rib area. Let's face it, when Silvia was just deer in the headlights here. She tried to find some position here, but just working enough. She tried to go ahead and find a submission, but it just wasn't there. And as soon as she got up, she was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Now it's about the readjustment. My opponent is better than I thought they were going to be. I have to become better than I thought I was going to be. Can she, level up in between rounds?
Yeah, she didn't get a chance here to strike, and that's what Silvia is all about. So she needs to keep her at bay, try to use that jab, to keep pushing her way, move around, cut the corners. That's how you're going to keep that wrestler out your way.
Doctor just checked out. Silvia Juaneda, don't know what it was about. But we are underway. Round number 2. Quinn Williams in the red. Silvia Juaneda in the yellow. I think she decided if she's going to win, it's not going to be on the ground. Wants to test out the striking of Quinn Williams. No, wrestling. Oh, beautiful sweep. Right into mount. Dominant position to start out round number 2. And so one thing about inexperience, you make those little tiny positional mistakes. And right now, Quinn Williams learning that the hard way.
If she's able to keep this position, Silvia may end up winning. And now she's adjusting, grabbing in that forearm position for a rear naked choke. Now let's see if that work that she's put in as an amateur comes into play here. All that work that she's put in the gym. Quinn does have that chin down, but now that
she might have it now.
She may have it, Jimmy.
Trying to pry off the hands is Quinn Williams. It's under the neck.
Oh, it's right in there. All she needs is grab in the tight.
And it's over.
Wow.
What a comeback for Silvia Juaneda.
How sweet it is, huh?
Quinn Williams had this one in hand, round number 1. Looked like a veteran. The takedown led to the sweep, led to the mount, led to the back mount, led to the rear naked.
Could it
1,
be
2, 3, 4.
Maybe a little bit overconfidence, trying to say, hey,
Maybe a little bit going into round number 2, certainly possible, but what you're learning in the pros, Quinn Williams, is it takes one little mistake, and Silvia Juaneda knew that. Didn't give up hope, came out better, and leveled up in round number 2. Oh, there are learning experiences in La Jaula. Quinn Williams and Silvia Juaneda just got one. Omar Amador will make it official.
A 1 minuto 3 segundos de mucha más acción en el segundo asalto. At 1 minute and 3 seconds of the second round. The referee, Juan Santana, stops the fight by tap out. El referee Juan Santana para la pelea por tap out. En un rear neck choke con un mataleón. La ganadora es de Menorca, España, Silvia Juaneda.
Incredible comeback for the Warrior from Spain after a terrible round number 1. It was a double leg sweep right to mount for Silvia Juaneda. She gets a little bit of redemption after losing her last fight on the ground. She gets a rear naked choke win here.
I think that pro experience came into play. She was able to quickly adjust in that second round. She knew she was going to keep the wrestling going on, and she tested it in that second round. Just a quick exchange and then right to beautifully executed Jimmy with the rear naked choke. She felt very confident. I just love the way, and if right here, we're going to, as soon as she gets up, it's like Silvia did not expect it. It's like, whoa, what happened? You know? It's like,
surprise
whoa.
on her face.
It's like, whoa, did I just pull this off right now? I sure did. Wow, that's awesome.
The other side of the experience is you don't get down. A bad round is a bad round. You leave it behind. That was last round, right? It's that ability to let that go. Juaneda had that tonight. Didn't get down on herself. Didn't get discouraged. Came back and got the win. Fought a bit more like a veteran.
Never felt down. She picked up her pace. That's a fighter right there. Bienvenidos to La Jaula.
And she takes it back to Spain. Huge win for Silvia Juaneda en La
Si quieres
Jaula.
disfrutar de mucha más acción, te invitamos a Combate Global, el evento de artes marciales mixtas que te hará vibrar cada semana. Llama ahora y consigue tus entradas de forma gratuita. No te lo pierdas, te esperamos ya.
Welcome back to Combate Global inside Univision Studios. La Jaula has been on fire tonight, and we're only getting started because our main event coming up and a lot of emotions going into this fight on both sides. Talk about those a little bit.
Boy, when Martin Davila, when he steps into La Jaula, I'm sure it's like all that emotion is like a come to Jesus moment. Stepping in there, it's only been, less than 3 months, 4 months since he lost his father, and to put that aside to compete at the level that we are in right now, that in itself, I'll tell you this, that in itself is a battle that he had to overcome, and he's here tonight. He's already achieved that. Now, to keep his father in line, to get that memory, man, listen, man, hat off to you, Martin. That's tough to do.
Well, let's learn more about the Warrior, Martin Davila, and his opponent, Ernesto Ibarra. Let's learn more about
Fighting brings a lot of things to my life, mind, body, and soul type things. So, keeps me healthy, keeps me active, keeps me inspiring to keep living, honestly. I represent my parents' country, that's Peru, and I represent the United States. I love both of the countries 100%. Fighting is something I've always done throughout my whole life. And it just made sense to me. I joined the Marine Corps as well when I was 17 and found MMA. I can strike, I can wrestle, we can hit the ground, wherever it goes. We're flying, running, and swimming, doesn't matter. Ernesto Ibarra, I expect a battle, so expect one from me.
Martin Davila, of course, representing Peru. Do you remember Antonio de Souza?
Yes.
The Peruvian savage. He was the guy who really put Peru on the map, wrestled out of California, but represented Peru. He's the one who first put Peru on the map.
And I gotta tell you, when you look at Peru, there's a big promotions out there. They've developed a lot of great fighters out of that country. You take Brazil, but Peru, don't leave them around. They have some great, talented fighters.
You want to support your nation of choice? Do it here next to La Jaula. Here's how you can do it.
Si quieres disfrutar de mucha más acción, te invitamos a Combate Global, el evento de artes marciales mixtas que te hará vibrar cada semana. Llama ahora y consigue tus entradas de forma gratuita. No te lo pierdas, te esperamos ya.
We are back here in Univision Studios. Combate Global. Fight after fight has delivered action tonight, and our main event is going to do the same. When I look at Martin Davila, Ernesto Ibarra, from Mexico, not a Mexican-style fighter. Learn more about him right now.
Peleo por mi familia y peleo más que nada para demostrar que una persona ordinaria puede lograr grandes cosas si es enfocado y disciplinado. Espero que se demuestre todo lo duro que he trabajado. Los sacrificios que he tenido que hacer han sido para bien y espero demostrar eso. Yo sé que si la pelea no se desarrolla exactamente a mi game plan, voy a sacarla de una u otra forma. La pelea termina en el primer round por nocaut. Martín, espero que nos llevemos la pelea de la noche. Solo estás en mi camino. Otro paso para llegar a ser campeón.
And the reason I say Ibarra, not a Mexican-style fighter, he's a southpaw, very judicious with that left hand. He talked about strategy, setup. He is a sniper. He doesn't empty the clip at thin air. How do you deal with that style?
You know, that's the puzzling part, right? Because when you have that Mexican style, but you're able to be technical with it, you know how dangerous that makes you?
Yeah. We'll see if they find the strategy tonight. Come see us here at Univision. Cheer 'em on.
Si quieres disfrutar de mucha más acción, te invitamos a Combate Global, el evento de artes marciales mixtas que te hará vibrar cada semana. Llama ahora y consigue tus entradas de forma gratuita. No te lo pierdas, te esperamos ya.
And we are ready for our main event of the evening. Martín Davila versus Ernesto Ibarra, a contrast in styles and so much emotion going into this fight tonight. They will bring it all in la jaula. To get it started, here is Omar Amador.
Entrando a la jaula, Martín Davila.
Martín Davila making his way to La Jaula. Family is from Peru, born in the United States, served in the United States Marine Corps, a black belt under Cyborg Abreu. You don't know who that is?
Yeah.
There are black belts, and then there are black belts. He is that latter category, competition black belt.
Guy.
Yeah, incredible heavyweight here in South Florida. He doesn't just hand out those black belts with Rodolfo.
No, and he definitely looks like a cyborg. But look, Martín Davila trains also with the Young Tigers Foundation. There you see him, Erick, Castillo, has had multiple championships in kickboxing. So we do talk about his jiu-jitsu, but he does have that great stand-up in that kickboxing. I've had that chance to train in that camp, so I know that this is just old school mentality kickboxing. We talked about earlier about Holland. That's the type of mentality they train here. Hardcore, to the teeth, and he's gonna bring it here tonight. So what he needs to set aside, again, is that emotion. He knows what happened, set that apart, stick to what you're doing today, your bread and butter, and I think the wrestling, the ground game, the jiu-jitsu is going to come into play here to make the difference in the fight.
Motivated by the death of his father, will those emotions come out in La Jaula? We'll find out. Omar, let's find out about his opponent.
Y ahora su oponente, Ernesto Ibarra.
Ernesto Ibarra from Ensenada, Mexico. Outstanding boxing. Very, very accurate with his strikes. And this is a very cerebral young man. When you talk to him, it's about the strategy. It's about the steps necessary in the gym and in La Jaula to win. He's not a very emotional, he's not a rah-rah kind of fighter, but that can be deadly.
Very much so. And look, you have to go back to May of 2021. They see Christian Reyes hyping his man up, his teammate. You gotta go to back 2021. That was his only loss that he's had against Alan Country. Yeah. Since then, he said, okay, and I mind you, Jimmy, that's just one loss. I said, no, if I need to take this thing seriously, I need to make some adjustments. So what did he do? He ended up going to different camps where he can get enough training to perfect his skill. He did some changes in nutrition. Ever since then, it's just been win, 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 like DJ Khaled said.
Ernesto Ibarra, the perfectionist. Never good enough, never ready enough. always can do better. We'll see what he's done in the gym tonight. Look at the difference here. Martin Davila, 11 years older than Ernesto Ibarra. And you can tell when he walked in, he is 2 inches taller and a significant reach advantage for the southpaw boxer out of Ensenada, Mexico. We'll see if he can keep the always busy, always active, always aggressive Martin Davila at bay. Omar Amador, kick it off.
Ya estamos listos para el evento estelar de esta noche. We are ready for the main event of the evening. Es un compromiso pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos en la división de peso mosca. This is about set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Dorian Mirasola, Lorenzo Toledo y Richard Green Jr. Y ahora sí, damas y caballeros, the time is here para un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing out of the blue corner. Sube con un récord de 7 victorias, 4 derrotas. He stepped in with a record of 7 victories and 4 losses. Vistiendo de negro, wearing black. Pesó 125.8 libras. He weighed in at 125.8 pounds. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of Herndon, Virginia. Y representando a Perú, the last Inca, Martín, el guerrero de Cristo, Davila. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now his opponent in the red corner. Sube a la jaula con 7 victorias, 1 derrota. He stepped into la jaula with 7 victories, 1 loss. Vistiendo de rojo, wearing red. Pesó 124.8 libras. He weighed in at 124.8 pounds. Es de Ensenada, México, Ernesto the Stallion Ibarra. El referee para este compromiso, Christopher Minioki.
Ok, quiero una pelea limpia. Escúchame todo el tiempo y cuídate todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar, toca ahora. Buena suerte a los dos.
Can you feel the electricity in La Jaula right now? That's right, it is Martin Davila versus Ernesto Ibarra.
I got chills, Jimmy.
And it is rocking as we start round number 1.
Peru is in the house. Jimmy backing up Martin Davila. He is the hometown boy.
Martin Davila in the black trunks. His opponent, Ernesto Ibarra, in the red trunks.
That's what we talked about, Jimmy, that tactical, that technique. Yes, he's Mexican, but he doesn't fight that style. Very precise, very accurate for Ibarra. And then rightfully so, right to the ground for Martin Davila.
This is Davila's wheelhouse. As we said, Cyborg Abreu black belt. How much pressure can you put on the long legs of Ernesto Ibarra? Ibarra, a purple belt himself. This is not where he wanted to be early on in this fight.
Davila just doing good work. This is where he likes to be. He's very composed, very relaxed.
Fighters he admires: Michael Chandler, Marlon Chito Vera, aggressive. Michael Chandler, tactical. Chito Vera. You're gonna have to combine those. All right, now Davila trying to isolate inverted armbar. Not easy to get against a fighter like Davila.
Ooh, and that's what the corner's been saying. That was taking a sneak peek in here. Use those blows, use those elbows from this position, from the guard. But what I like about Jimmy Martin, he's so relaxed. He's so calm. You know, just trying to, and that just shows that experience that he has in the ground game. He doesn't freak out. He doesn't panic. It's just another day in the office.
Little tiny adjustments about chipping away at your opponent.
Ibarra not doing much enough here to get out.
And looking to hold on, maybe not give up the guard pass, not give up the big ground and pound shot.
Yeah, he's positioning those hips there, but just Davila doing enough damage.
Great job by Davila. It's a great position to negate the height advantage, negate the reach advantage of Ernesto Ibarra.
He called him in right back, but Davila just landing in shots.
Look at the body as well. Talk about the boxing of Ibarra. So far, no chance to really use it. Isolating the arm.
Looking for that arm bar.
Looking for the left arm. Martin Davila. Watch out for those long legs. Good job. Davila getting back square, as we say. Facing his opponent, not letting him angle off on the ground.
Just great technique from Davila. Despite that little chance where Ibarra went for that armbar.
Yeah, but Ernesto Ibarra right now, for his part, not panicking on the ground. Once again, going for the inverted armbar. We thought this would be one-way traffic on the mat. He's been
Ibarra's
taking.
doing
He's
just as
doing
good.
all right. Now Davila taking a little more risk, trying to get a little bit higher to land the more powerful ground and pound.
And these guys, you know, when we talk to lower weight class, there's a lot of gas in the tank. These guys can go on for ages. Cardio levels there. Ibarra representing the Blaxicans.
Ibarra right now playing it safe, hasn't been able to push off, hasn't sold out to start a scramble. I think he respects the ground game of Martin Davila. Doesn't want to do anything stupid right now.
Any mistake could be deadly. But what Davila has had much success is those shots, forearm shots, elbow shots that he's been landing.
Davila not really taking the risks to try to pass, is being content to stay in the closed guard.
He's just attacking the head.
I think Ibarra may have figured out like it's better to start up round number 2. We're gonna start on our feet. Don't give up anything stupid right now.
Ken, you have that 44 seconds. Ibarra still attempting to grab that wrist and the right arm.
Davila, though, it's been all ground and pound in round number 1 after that first takedown.
I think he felt that one, Jimmy.
Good forearm shot.
There's some blood coming in, I think. Yep, there's some blood right there, Christian.
And it looks like it is starting to flow.
From the nose, I think it is.
You can't tell exactly where it's from this angle. It's definitely opened up by one of these shots from Martin Davila.
Ibarra just noticed it. He had to touch his nose. Like, whoa, I'm bleeding.
Well, don't expect Ibarra to panic. He's done well on the bottom so far, eaten some damage, but still in this fight at the end of round 1.
Súbeme la mano derecha, ¿ok? Ciérrame el espacio y corta. Ese que respira, 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 respira. Vamos, abre. Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien, respira. Primer asalto, pero mal. Bien cerradito, Martín. Bien cerrado. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Bien cerrado, bien cerrado. Tú eres campeón, tú eres campeón. Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Well, so far, as we're about to start round number 2, round number 1 in the wheelhouse of Martin, the last Inca Davila. Ernesto Ibarra with that long guard, able to avoid any submissions, took some damage, but what can he get done on the feet at the start of round number 2? And it's a beautiful left hand right down the pipe.
Woo. Davila felt that one. Now he has a matter to just compose himself and try to see if he can get it right back with that last round ending.
And Ernesto Ibarra trying to get this fight back in his wheelhouse, which is on the feet. Excellent boxing. Good accuracy with his kickboxing as well.
Davila backing up then, not moving forward, and that's what Ibarra likes. He likes to be on the offensive. And if you give him that, Jimmy, that'll be his fight all day.
Open scoring here, it's obvious. Judges giving it all 3 judges agreeing round number 1 belonged to Martin Davila, and Ernesto Ibarra fighting like he needs to get this fight back. The striker from Ensenada, Mexico. Yes, he has a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. Martin, the last Inca Davila, a black belt. One of the best here in South Florida. Ground game didn't go his way in round number 1. This is what we were talking about, Rodolfo. Judicious, right? Ernesto Ibarra doesn't just throw caution to the wind. He sets up his strikes very effectively.
You called it right. He's a sniper. You know, he sets you up, knowing when to strike, find the right moment. And he's doing that right now. He landed with that knee.
So far, no level change from Martin Davila. He's content so far to stand on the feet, but not going his way.
Which I'm surprised. Because it was working in the first. Why not try to find that chance?
An easy double leg in round number 1.
That lead leg is there for you all day. Enough space to do so. There it is. He's trying to fake it.
Could it be he spent a little too much energy in round number 1, you know, trying to recharge a little bit in round number 2?
Maybe. And, you know, a lot is told by the eyes of a fighter. Oh! And there, okay, just can have it.
First real attempt at a double leg shrugged off by Ernesto Ibarra.
The stallion, good way of stopping Davila, taking this fight to the clinch. Ibarra attempted to trip Davila. Now he's going for the single leg.
Interesting attack here by Ibarra. Thinking single leg, got to pull him off the fence. What they call run the pipe, circle toward the leg you have. Now letting it go. Judicious with the striking, judicious with the takedowns as well. Not going to spend a whole lot of energy on it.
Yeah, like my coach would say, take a bow of that leg. Ibarra now just feeling like himself, being vicious, picking where he wants to strike.
The speed advantage, the range advantage of Ibarra so far, big factor in round 2.
And he's just stalking his prey, Ibarra. We're looking at that right now. But Davila can be taken by that. He needs to find that chance. Ibarra, he's coming. Come on, let's go.
He wants a brawl with the fighter representing Peru. Good right hands from Davila.
Davila answered back, not holding back.
One thing we have not seen is quit in either of these fighters. First round in the wheelhouse of Martin Davila. On the ground, he was on top, but Ernesto Ibarra able to stay in the fight. Same thing, round 2 reversed, where we're on the feet, and this is where Ibarra gets it done, but Martin Davila not wilting, not giving up.
Ibarra's just looking for that liver shot, too. He's been connecting with the uppercuts in that area. Sneaking a knee as well.
Liver shot, the absolute worst. Nothing makes you quit with a liver shot.
Horrible.
Nice leaping knee. Ibarra doing a good job.
Nice
Left hook.
Beautiful left hook. Ibarra liked it. He gave him one right back. That's that Mexican style right there, right?
You take one, you're going to give it back.
See, he keeps
There's
working
that level shot. Yeah.
He is just waiting for it. That's when Davila needs to keep those elbows tight right in there to protect himself.
10 seconds left in round number 2, a round that has belonged to Ernesto Ibarra, but Martin Davila not going anywhere.
Tienes que meterlo también y pues tira el cuerpo, léalo, lo gasto varias veces. En 1, 8, en una media, en una rodilla, o 1, 6, 5 lados 6, remata tu 3, o tu ángulo, no te rotees, córtale ángulos y presiona. Traes mejor box, Simón, más para el frente, pero con cuidado con tu guardia arriba, ¿ok? Maneja tus golpes, y tus golpes ahí.
We predicted fireworks in this main event, and we have not been disappointed. Martin, the last Inca Davila versus Ernesto Stallion Ibarra. The grappler Davila owned round number 1. The striker Ibarra owned round number 2. Now it is all up for grabs. Davila in the black trunks, Ibarra in the red trunks. Rodolfo, do you have it one apiece?
Yeah, no, this is it. This is for all the marbles, that third round. I'm going to have to go 1-1 right now. I was listening into the corner of Ibarra. He said, look right for the right moment and sneak in that knee to the liver area. But keep your guard up.
Davila has been throwing back, especially with that left hand over the top. Has had some success with it. Also, hard to believe these guys are the same weight class. Ibarra is so much bigger than Davila.
Jacked.
When you're young, making weight so much easier. We have the open scoring.
There it is.
19 apiece. You called it.
Yep.
It is all tied up.
Oh, and that's what the coach told him. Keep your guard up because Davila has had much success with that left hook.
Now changing level. I was about to say, we're going to see more takedowns in round 3, an attempt with it. But Ibarra's so aggressive that Davila hasn't really been able to set up that takedown like he did in round number 1.
Yeah, Ibarra you can see here that defense is coming up with a takedown.
It's a fine line, isn't it, Rodolfo? Because you want to be aggressive, and sometimes aggression leads to takedown, but sometimes you're aggressive, your opponent can't time their takedown, right? They can't see anything, so punches are coming at them. That's been the case. Ibarra has always had something in the face of Martin Davila.
Good way there. Ooh, Ibarra landing in a couple of shots.
Yeah, 45 for Ibarra, 21 kicks. Good accuracy. Both men over 80%, but the thing is, Ibarra has been doing most of this damage since round number 1.
Yeah, Davila just, if he wants to take this victory, he has to somehow, some way, and he has to keep that guard up. Take this fight to the floor if he wants to take this one. And he keeps backpedaling.
Oh, sneaky liver shot.
He's looking for it. He's looking for it.
Under 3 minutes left in round number 3. Winner of this round wins the fight. We have open scoring here at Combate Global. It is 19 apiece. All 3 judges' scorecards.
And right now, statistically, you saw Ibarra just outstriking Davila.
And with authority as well. He's landing some cracking left hands. You know, you've pointed out that liver shot over and over. And look at these feints.
There it is again.
And even if you don't get the knockout with the body shots, what happens? It starts slowing down. It's like the engine just starts running out of gas, right?
How do you stop that locomotive coming at you?
Leg kicks and body shots, my friend. Leg kicks and body shots.
That's all it is. And I haven't seen much kicks from Davila here for this position. And we know that Ibarra is a southpaw. We talked about with Joe, right? And it's stepping in on that side, working in that lead leg.
The footwork has been controlled by Ernesto Ibarra. Look at the combinations. Great understanding of distance and range. And also, he hasn't kind of crowded his own punches. A lot of aggressive strikers against a grappler, you know, they'll run into the chest of their opponent and get locked up. Ibarra, you saw that combination, never came close enough for Davila to wrap him up.
Davila right now is just like, he just doesn't know where to go.
Reacting every now and then, not mentally out of the fight, but tactically hasn't found a way in.
Sizing up his opponent.
Good left hand.
Yeah. Oh, and again, I have lost count how much times he's attempted to go for that liver shot.
Ibarra, a ton of energy, 1 minute left in round number 3. Yeah, now he has his fight well in hand, but will he sell out to get the finish?
Right now he's throwing everything, Jimmy. He wants to finish this fight. He is unleashing a beast.
It takes a lot to know that you've got to fight one, but you want the finish anyway. To open up, take that risk of the counter shot. That's exactly what Ernesto Stallion Ibarra is doing.
Man, Ibarra just looks like Goku in there, man. He's just flipped the script. No way of stopping this guy.
30 seconds left. Ernesto Ibarra unloading on Martin, the last Inca Davila. Davila had his way in round number 1. The last 10 minutes have belonged to Ernesto Ibarra. the striker out of Monterrey, Mexico. Unbelievable work. I'm sorry, it was Ensenada, Mexico. Great work from that southpaw stance target practice in that last round.
Wow. That's when he became loose target practice for Ibarra there, just landing everywhere he wanted.
Davila, a heavy bag with legs in that last round, answering back when he could. But you're looking at the face of victorious young man. Great performance from Ernesto Ibarra. Will make it official right after this. And it was an absolute war in the main event, just as expected. Martin Davila, Ernesto Ibarra. Ibarra, though, owning the last 2 rounds. Let's see how the judges saw it.
Después de 3 asaltos, de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of much more action, we go to the scorecards. Y los jueces están todos de acuerdo. All the judges are in agreement with scorecards of 29-28. All in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. Todos a favor del ganador por decisión unánime. Ernesto the Stallion Ibarra.
No surprise there. Stallion Ibarra moves to 8-1, a striking clinic in rounds 2 and 3. No other way to say it.
I mean, it's sad to say, but yes, he became a punching bag, right? He was picking where he wanted to be. I know he was aiming for that highlight reel, that liver shot didn't come into play. But what's amazing here is he was able to adjust it and just setting it up and putting up that front foot. Man, I mean, he's just so precise. And he was able to just overcome any possibility of takedown. He flipped the switch. The takedown defense was there. And even when he was in the ground, Jimmy, in that first round, he was still able to do what he needed to do to go ahead and move on to the second round. So, he, the jiu-jitsu is there for him. But this is right here. Oh, man, look at that. Just side elbow. How beautiful that is from Ibarra. He wanted to get him in the clinch to land on the knees. I mean, just a beautifully executed for this young man.
Whole body was the target, head to the toes. Worked the ribs well, worked the liver well. It was a clinic from Ernesto Ibarra. And you look here, 94 punches, 30 kicks, strike total 124, almost double the total of Martin Davila, also over 80%. Martin Davila, that one takedown in round number 1, won him the round. Couldn't replicate that success later in the fight.
And what's scary is the speed of Ibarra. He's so fast when he comes here, and then once he feels it, it's like you just can't get out. You know, it's kind of like when you've been to the fun house and you're walking, you see all these things that just can't get out. That's how it feels like.
Coming up, it is Rodrigo Garcia versus Carlos Reyes. Feature fight, don't go anywhere. No surprise, it is clear and beautiful tonight in Miami, Florida. Look at those colors. Just absolutely nice, gorgeous. Well, we've seen some sweet technique as well. And La Jaula, we're hoping that continues. Rodrigo Garcia. I'm just saying Gracie. Rodrigo, see, then it would be Rodrigo Gracie, different guy.
Right.
Rodrigo Garcia and Carlos Reyes looking to throw down in La Jaula.
A mí lo que me motiva para seguir pues es mi esposa y mi hijo. Mi ciudad siempre está a favor mío, entonces por ahí los hago. Me llamo Rodrigo García Hernández y soy de Santa Catarina, Nuevo León.
Creo que soy un peleador que le gusta mucho ser agresivo con su lucha, ser agresivo también con el golpeo, muy explosivo. Mi nombre es Carlos Reyes, vengo de Tijuana, Baja California.
Soy alguien duro que le gusta ir al frente, muy cauteloso como quiera con las entradas, ¿no? Pero pues me gusta el faje, me gusta tirar patadas.
El que va siempre hacia enfrente, yo creo que lo puedo usar hasta en su contra. El que pierda la cabeza y trabajar inteligentemente en contra de él.
Que venga preparado para fajarse arriba, que venga preparado para recibir unos buenos codos en el suelo, ¿no?
Yo creo que voy a buscar el knockout. Si no llega, yo creo que lo va a finalizar en el piso por knockout técnico.
Both these fighters at 3-3 looking to break through. Omar Amador. Get this feature fight started.
Entrando a la jaula, Rodrigo Garcia.
This is Rodrigo Garcia. Whatever he said about his aggressive style, it's what he wants to bring. 2019 National Amateur Champion in MMA, but just getting started with his pro career, 3-3. This is the point a lot of times, Rodolfo, you start wondering if this is for you, right? 3-3, I'm not quite getting kick-started here. You need that breakthrough performance, and the Jaula tonight, a great performance might propel him into a great professional career possibility. What do you think?
That's that 7th fight, right? It kind of breaks the ice to determine where you are. This is a man that originally played American football, transitioned into MMA, and we've seen a lot of success with some of the football players that make their way into mixed martial arts, trained in the line alpha team with the likes of Baby and Galvin and so much more. But look, fast-paced, very handed, but 3-3. You want to go up, you want to be better than 500 record. This is his chance to get back in that win column.
And we'll leave it to Omar to bring his opponent in.
Y ahora su oponente, Carlos Reyes.
There's his opponent, Carlos Reyes. This is a Battle of Mexico, Monterrey versus Tijuana. Once again, also a decorated amateur. Has great Muay Thai, great striking. He's been working on his boxing in between fights. Wants those fast hands. He knows to be successful in the Jaula, he's going to take on a lot of boxers. He needs his hands sharpened. That's what he's been doing in the gym in between fights.
And that's what he told me. Look, I know where I need to evolve. I know where I need to improve. He's been dedicating a lot of effort, a lot of time into his boxing, and he's going to need it against his opponent who has solid striking. The man who trains with black skin and also trains at the Entron gym. When you train in both of those gyms, Jimmy, that's high-level stuff that you're going into. You're well prepared for a bout.
You're going to see everything. You're going to see every style, right? And that's what he's got to be prepared for tonight, because loser of this fight slides to 3-4. That's a tough hole to dig yourself out of.
Curious to see here how he adjusted and if he puts that boxing into play here tonight.
Here is our head-to-head. Rodrigo Garcia, 4 years older than Carlos Reyes. Reyes a slight height advantage, but the reach advantage belonging to Garcia. Reyes has been working on his boxing. He's going to get past a very long jab tonight.
Good stuff here for both these teams. Looking forward to it. Young studs. A lot of action, and hey, good platform.
Omar, let's get it started. Our final fight of the night.
Ya estamos listos para este encuentro de guerreros mexicanos. We are ready for this clash of Mexican warriors. Esto es un combate pautado a 3 asaltos de 5 minutos. This is a fight set to 3 rounds of 5 minutes. En la división peso mosca, in the flyweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Ricardo Celis, Dorian Mirasola y Lorenzo Toledo. Damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate Loba. Presentando en la esquina azul, introducing out of the blue corner, sube a la jaula con un récord de 3 victorias, 3 derrotas. He stepped into the cage with a record of 3 victories and 3 losses. Vistiendo de negro, wearing black. Registró un peso oficial de 125.8 libras. He weighed in at 125.8 pounds. Es de Monterrey, Nuevo León, México, Rodrigo Pelón Garcia. Y ahora su oponente en la esquina roja. Now his opponent in the red corner. also steps in with a record of 3 victories and 3 losses. También entra a la jaula con un récord de 3 victorias y 3 derrotas. Vistiendo de rojo, wearing red. Registró un peso oficial de 126 libras. He weighed in at a flat 126 pounds. Es de Tijuana, Baja California, México, Carlos el Chacal Reyes. El referee para este encuentro, Juan Tommy Santana.
Bienvenidos a Combate Global. Hemos repasado el reglamento en la parte de atrás y espero una pelea dura pero limpia. Obedecen la orden del mando en todo momento y defiéndense en todo momento. Cuando yo digo stop, stop. ¿Alguna pregunta? ¿Alguna pregunta? Yo voy a decir para atrás. Entonces, yo digo
Getting ready for round number 1. Rodrigo Garcia in the black trunks, Carlos Reyes in the red trunks. Both fighters from Mexico. We are underway. Rodrigo Garcia. I've been called pelon as well. That's a compliment,
All right,
right?
and I was
That's a compliment.
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't it?
Sure.
It means sexy, right? I get called pelon by a lot of women.
Sure. If Vin Diesel gets away with the rock, sure,
Thank
you're
you.
in. That's it. There
Thank
you go.
you.
Now, what does El Chacal mean?
That one I don't know.
Jackal.
Wow,
And I'll tell you a
Jackal.
quick story. We're in the studio, Jimmy. Don Francisco, Sábado Gigante, one of the longest reigning programs. There was a guy named El Chacal who would always play the trumpet dressed all in black. If they would have contests singing, and if you were bad, El Chacal would come in and just play the trumpet. So,
Getting the gong, as we would say. It's a much older show. We're dating ourselves with this one, but Carlos Reyes right now throwing hands.
Man.
Now the Jackal thing makes sense. Carlos the Jackal. I'm not going to give you a history lesson right now, but oh my God, they are throwing leather right now. Reyes off balance, but slinging heavy punches at Rodrigo Garcia, and Garcia giving him back.
wow, I love that beautiful elbow from Garcia.
They're fighting like this is a one-round fight. Wow. Single leg. Reyes now switching to the high crotch, double leg, but brief guillotine from Reyes.
Wow, very fast pace. You know, our 125ers here, Jimmy, and
they go, don't they?
You know, some they say,
knee bar transition. It is deep.
Oh, it might be a quick finish, Jimmy.
Reyes going hard for it. We see the foot on the thigh from Garcia trying to kick his way out of it, and he does.
Man, this is...
Whoa.
Woo, and he's
a
already
bad cut.
Yeah, busted open, El Chacal. Don't know exactly where it's coming from.
There's blood all over the side of the face of Carlos Reyes.
It says that the doctor's going to check it.
We can't even see where it is.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know if it's in the eyebrow. I can't, yeah.
There's blood all over the face. Might be a hairline cut.
Really hard to tell. But boy, you know, it's bad that we're at this because it was so fast-paced, so high energy, and then to get stopped like this, it just changes the pace of the fight.
Doctor apparently thinking it's okay. Still didn't see exactly where it is.
No. It's like he just got wiped, but he didn't even take a look at it. Well, it's not impeding his vision, so he'll be all right.
Would expect Rodrigo Garcia to go right after this.
So as I thought I was making, Jimmy, you know, our 125ers, they talk about that, oh, there's no knockouts, there's no finishes. Our 125ers, you see a lot of action, and you do see KOs and submissions.
Incredible action so far. Rodrigo Garcia, taking on Carlos Reyes. And it's Reyes right now trying to press forward. That cut gives him a sense of urgency. Reyes in the red, and the red face as well, so it matches.
Rodrigo's corner telling him to just do a lot of feints to throw him off. We've seen a lot of that uppercut. It's not like it's like a throw of an uppercut.
Right.
It's just bam.
Garcia content so far to play the outside.
And there's that tie elbow. Not too often using it because it's so hard to really come about, but Rodrigo making it very nice.
Those fighters trying to get something done with the kicks as well. Slapping leg shots, body shots from both of these fighters. Rodrigo Garcia amateur MMA champion in Mexico 2019 before starting his pro career.
Sounds like the pace has slowed down, and it could have been that stop by the doctor checking the cut.
But still, Garcia using a lot of energy on the on the outside, moving his body, his head, extremely active.
Kick there from Reyes, way to block it.
So far, Garcia not really fighting efficiently, is he? Still a lot. Oh, nice. Hard leg kick.
That one's going to leave a mark tomorrow.
Reyes hasn't quite adjusted to the speed of the attack of Garcia yet. Seems to be waiting a lot. Not really able to initiate very much. He waits, tries to counter, but speed isn't quite there.
Yeah, Reyes more the patient fighter. Oh, attempted that flying knee. Everybody's going for that highlight reel, huh?
Beautiful jump knee from Garcia. But I like that variety of offense from Garcia. It's not just, not just the hands.
It's great. You got the elbows, the knees. He's willing to take that risk. We talked about that 3-3 to see where you are at this level. Well, he's showing you that he has a bag of tricks. And he's very confident. And at that level is when you are able to test those things, right? It's like, I'm more than capable of my bread and butter stuff here. I can bring other stuff to the table.
10 seconds left to go in round number 1, a bloody round number 1. Ooh, Garcia seeing things go his way.
Toma agua, tenle a tu solo.
Toma la agüita.
Estás cansado, güey. Estoy trabajando igual, güey. Igual, güey, exactamente igual. Trabajan más la finta.
Mixeándolo. Arriba, abajo, pica, muévete.
Ay, estás haciendo un trabajo muy bien, güey. Muy relajadito, güey. Sigue siendo lo mismo. Te mueves, pateas. Te mueves, pateas. Es tu juego, güey. Aire, güey.
Va, ya tienes el timing, güey. Va, es lo más importante, ya tienes el timing. Sigue haciendo tu juego.
Welcome back to Combate Global, round number 2, Rodrigo Garcia versus Carlos Reyes. Rodrigo Garcia opening up the face of Carlos Reyes in round number 1. Reyes in the red, Rodrigo Garcia in the black.
Changing the levels from Garcia going to the attempting there a takedown, for Reyes not having any of it.
Nice deep single leg, but not able to do a whole lot with it. Got to pull Garcia off the fence to make that work. It has been almost all stand-up in round number 1. Neither fighter able to get their takedown going. Ground game hasn't really been a factor. I think maybe the speed and aggression of Garcia just unexpected by Carlos Reyes.
But it's toned down a bit, Jimmy.
No. Reyes shaking his head, but you know that one hurt. Yeah, I can't hear time.
And as you get older, it's the recovery is so much. It's just that quad, you know, that T-band area. You get kicked there.
And the worst part is you got to look at your opponent like it didn't hurt. You got to mask all that. No surprise.
But you know it hurt.
Garcia, of course it did. Rodrigo Garcia, 10-9. All 3 judges scored it the same way. We have open scoring here at Combate Global. So the corners know, the fighters know. We know at home. And fighters know when they have to hit the gas, when they're behind.
Corner of Garcia telling him to desperate, come down.
So far, content in this round, Garcia to chop away at the legs of Reyes. Ooh, just like that.
Didn't see that in the first round, but Reyes has his bag of trick kicks.
But it seems like every time Reyes tries to answer with punches, which is not a bad response to getting kicked, it seems like he just isn't quite fast enough to catch Garcia in one spot. Garcia able to move out every time.
He can't keep up with the pace. He's more of that stand back, wait, and I'll attack type of fighter.
Yeah.
Now he's going into the flurry there.
Rolling in a bit, but so far, good defense from Rodrigo Garcia.
And you know, Garcia with that stand, he switches so quickly, makes it look easy, almost flawless.
Oh, nice switch kick. Single leg now from Garcia.
Not going to finish for Reyes there, using the howler to posture up.
A lot more punches from Reyes, a lot more kicks from Garcia.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dominic Cruz type of fighting style from Garcia.
Constantly moving, constantly angling, switching directions.
Right? You got to have a certain type of endurance for that.
Problem is, you need great timing as well, because as we've seen recently, Dominic Cruz got a little bit older. You can move into a shot just as easily as you can move away from one. Timing has to be precise.
You would see him all the time, just breathing all the time,
Right.
heavy breathing. Not with Garcia, though. I mean, it's like if nothing happened to him.
Garcia, though, starting to make a habit now, dropping his hands.
Yeah.
Reyes, to his credit, trying to keep the physical pressure on. Hasn't let Garcia rest. They're much closer round number 2. To your point, Rodolfo, it seems as though Garcia's slowing down a little bit, and Reyes trying to take advantage with shots like that.
He wants to bring him in and exchange. That's where he needs to get him.
Nothing about leg kicks, as much as they suck, and they do, they aren't scored really as effectively as they should be. They're not seen to be as impactful as a straight punch.
But the damage is done. When you land them continuously.
It wouldn't surprise me right now if Reyes is ahead in this round 2.
Jose Aldo,
yeah,
perfect example.
Best in the business.
In his earlier days, the way he just unleashed his kicks just continuously.
I think Uriah Faber still has leg problems. Still has trouble walking in the supermarket.
Try to sneak in an elbow as well, but Garcia's so rapid to sneak out.
It's going to be very interesting to see how the judges scored this round number 2. Garcia with a lot of leg kicks. Reyes trying to walk him down, but less accurate punches in round 2 from Rodrigo Garcia, as Carlos Reyes finishing strong. End of round 2. Boy. Welcome back to the battle for Mexican pride. Rodrigo Garcia versus Carlos Reyes, both from Mexico. Monterrey and Tijuana. A lot of respect. They're ready to throw down in round number 3. No surprise.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm curious to see what the judges saw in that second round, Jim.
We have open scoring. We should know in a little bit how they saw round number 2.
It's going to determine how these fighters come out. And I think they both know it. You know, when they hugged each other in the third round and say, hey, we got to bring it. Someone needs to take this W home.
Both fighters 3-3 in their pro careers and want to break out. Start that win streak. And it's not easy to do, but it needs to begin tonight in La Jaula. One of these fighters slides to 3-4. And it is all tied up. Not a huge surprise. Who finishes strong? Carlos Reyes. Says he's been working on his boxing, and as Rodrigo Garcia has slowed down, we've been able to see the effectiveness of his punches.
And Reyes sees it. He knows he's slowing down, so he waits for him to shoot and capitalizes and closes the distance and lands many shots.
But Garcia, so much movement on the outside, right? So much angling, so much upper body movement, but not throwing with the volume he had in round number 1. I mean, it might behoove him to move a little less, throw a little bit more in such a close fight.
Feigning and feigning, but Reyes reads it already. Haven't seen those elbows, those flashy moves from Garcia, and it's a testament there as far as the endurance, that it's not what it was earlier on. Hasn't been able to keep that energy level throughout the fight.
And look at the numbers right now. Total strikes in favor of Carlos Reyes. Garcia a bit more accurate, but not having the volume. It's been a while since the takedown has been a factor. Garcia has any punches left, he's got to throw them, because Reyes is just growing in confidence. I think he's realized maybe he can walk through some of these strikes of Garcia.
Yeah, I have to take one, but then he'll give like 30 back, right? Yeah. And there it is. He's pushing forward, great combination. Some of them blocked, but some shots they connected there. I mean, he's playing a very tactical fight here, Reyes.
Garcia, a lot of movement, going back to the leg kick, but the difficulty is the leg kick. Yeah. Unless you're really destroying your opponent, it's not going to knock somebody out in round 3. It's going to suck tonight. I get a lot of Advil and ice, but...
And also, if you've had a lot of success throughout the fight, okay, you can start using him more often. I think what's playing out for him is bringing him in and laying into the flurry of punches. That's what's working out for Reyes right now.
It's going to take a big combination from Garcia to get back in this fight. 2 minutes left.
Yeah, Garcia just a lot of switching it, but not doing much, like you said, Jimmy.
This fight and this round not out of reach, I think, with a minute 40 left in round number 3. Garcia turns it on. He can win this one back. Attempt at the high kick from Carlos Reyes. Rodrigo Garcia once again biding his time. You got to wonder how many punches are left. Does he have more bullets left in the magazine? He's got to spend them now. Can't take them home with you.
You hear there's pressure from Reyes' camp.
And that's been the key to the fight. That's is that physical pressure kind of wore Garcia down. He stopped throwing. Trying to ice it with a double leg. He can get a takedown with a minute left. Could be all she wrote, but good job by Garcia getting back to his feet.
Yeah, Reyes was very confident that he's going to pick up this win.
Putting that weight. It's a shame though that one of these fighters has to lose. They're both beginning their career. They're both 3-3, but we've seen a skill level far above the numbers of 3-3 for both of these guys.
The evolution of these fighters, we've seen it, and you can never just go off of the numbers. And the level of quality of fights that they've had to get to this point.
He is bloody, he is battered, but Carlos the Jackal Reyes may have done enough to pull this one out with a savage round 2 and 3. And it is all over, blood streaming down the face of Carlos Reyes. Tough fight, back and forth, but the last 10 minutes, Carlos Reyes able to turn it on physically. Rodrigo Garcia, not as much of an answer. What did the judges see? We'll find out right after this. Welcome back to Combate Global. Who came out on top in our feature fight? Omar Amador will make it official.
Después de 3 asaltos de mucha más acción, after 3 rounds of much more action, los jueces están todos de acuerdo. All the judges are in agreement with scorecards con tarjetas de 29-28, 29-28 of the winner by unanimous decision para el ganador por decisión unánime. De Tijuana, Baja California, México, Carlos el Chacal
you start, it's where you finish, right? A bad round number 1. He comes back in rounds 2 and 3, finishes strong. Hard-fought win for Carlos Reyes.
He showed it, that he evolved and was able to transition. If it wasn't working well for him in that first, he picked up the pace, listened to the coach, adjusted the strategy, and took out the win. In the beginning, it was just Garcia just picking up the pace, fast pace. Reyes was able to calm him down, suck the energy out of his opponent, and really get him where he wanted. That's he was able to land in those shots very viciously, just waiting, laying in a flurry of punches, Jimmy. And he was very patient. Sometimes in the fight game, it's not about desperation, and that's something that his corner, Garcia's corner was telling him, don't get desperate. And he was just going there, doing all these crazy things, switching the stance, but that can gas you out. Reyes saw that, and he capitalized on it.
Well, the numbers tell the tale. 191 attempted, 146 landed for Carlos Reyes. 90 and 109 on the other side. That is just not going to get it done. But the action tonight continues next week. Baby Bull Gonzalez, hide your livers, hide your chins, because the power punching is coming out in Miami next week. Looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to seeing Baby Bull, to see him inside La Jaula. He's one of the top studs out here. And again, he has that vicious KO power. We saw it against Angel Alvarez, a top-notch fighter, and just made it look so easy with that power punch. Vicious dude.
If you don't know Baby Bull, take a look, judge for yourself.
Why I fight? Because I love it. I know a lot of people look up to me. I want to show them the strongest, the fastest, the smartest, the most intelligent, the most brutal me that you're going to see in the ring.
Baby Bull Gonzalez! Woo! #1 ranked for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to make a big difference.
Baby Bull Gonzalez, oh my God. You see it right there is the battle of the Gonzalezes. Marlon versus Enrique. But Baby Bull, this season, this will be his first fight, 2023, in La Jaula. Not the kind of guy to just come in and win, right? He wants to make an impression, let everyone know he's back.
He wants to make sure that he knows and recognizes who the heck he is. But hey, don't count Gonzalez out. It's been some time since we see him in La Jaula. He told me, I've been fixing some of my stuff, I'm prepared, and I want to put the Inca warrior blood on the line and show what it was all about.
Well, let's talk about a fight we had earlier today, the last Inca, Martin Davila, in our main event against Ernesto Ibarra. I gotta say, I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Ibarra, performance of the night to you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that, man, he made it look easy. He made it look easy. He adjusted so fast in that first round. He got taken to the floor, and even though he did what he needed to do on the ground game. And then right after, he just flipped the script. Second and third round, picking and choosing, tactical, precise, accurate. Beautifully executed inside there, Jim.
A theme we've seen tonight in almost every fight is bad first round doesn't mean bad fight, right? You can come back, you can make adjustments. That's why we have 3 rounds in the fight. Maturity throughout in La Jaula tonight, yes or no?
We saw that in all of the 3 bouts in the main card with the women, with the Martin Davila and Ibarra, and then this one right here. Amazing stuff.
There'll be more of it next week, more comebacks, more action. Join us here at Univision Studios. For everyone behind the scenes, thank you so much. We'll see you next week at Combate Global.